Good morning, everyone. It looks like it's about 9:30, so we're going to go ahead and get started this morning. Thank you so much for joining us on our first week of our November self-care series. Really exciting to see so many of you with us today. Nikki Prosch is going to take us through some Thanksgiving themed workout. So that should be really fun and exciting. Before I introduce Nikki, I'd just like to get a sense of who is all joining us today. So if you could put your name, your city, and then your favorite Thanksgiving themed food or side dish in the chat box, we'd love to hear from you. For today, I'd like to welcome Nikki Prosch, who is the Health and Physical Activity Field Specialist for SDSU Extension. She works closely with colleagues from South Dakota, as well as South Dakota organizations and communities. She provides statewide leadership and physical activity interventions and programming. In 2020, she completed her 200-hour registered yoga teacher training and enjoys getting people active in lots of different ways. So if you have questions throughout the presentation today, please feel free to type those into the chat box. And with that, I will turn it over to Nikki.
Thanks, Amber, and thanks everyone for jumping on Friday morning. Hopefully the theme of a Thanksgiving workout either got you excited and didn't scare you away. It'll be fun, I promise. All the exercises will be related to a Thanksgiving dish. But Amber and I actually right before were just saying how this time of year seems super crazy, more so for me professionally at work. It's really, really busy and crazy at home too, which I'm sure a lot of you can relate to. I feel like as soon as November hits, our minds just kind of maybe switch into overdrive a little bit and think of what do I have to do before the end of the year. So with that, we're just super glad that you're taking this time today to dedicate towards yourself, to do a little self-care, do a little exercise. I'm hoping you will join me with the exercise. You don't have to have your camera on, but if you're comfortable having it on, it just helps so we can see and make sure you're doing some of the exercises safely. But if you're in a spot where you can do them, I encourage you to do them with me as we go through them today. So next slide. Before we go right into the exercises, of course, I feel like many of you probably heard of the benefits of being active. It seems like there's some different benefit that you hear about all the time. One of the most common is it helps lower your risk of a number of different chronic diseases. More recently, there's been some data that shows being physically active has some immediate benefits. So in addition to those long-term benefits, there's some things that if you're active, even for as little as 5 minutes, you'll see some immediate benefits. Some of those being a better night's sleep, immediate feelings of decreased anxiety, improved kind of feelings around how you're feeling about yourself. So there's some things and benefits of being active, even for those short 5-minute bouts. So to the next slide, with that, remembering that any type of physical activity you can squeeze in is good, regardless of how long it is. And I put this slide in here not to scare you, but also just to kind of show you where South Dakota falls in terms of people who meet the current recommendations for physical activity. So that right graphic just shows what the current recommendations are for adults to meet the physical activity guidelines, and that's engaging in 150 minutes of moderate physical activity each week and doing muscle strengthening activity 2 or more days each week. So in South Dakota, 22% of South Dakotan adults report meeting both those guidelines based on 2019 data. So that means that 78% of our state is not meeting that recommendation, which, seems high, but it's important to remember that you can start today. You can start where you're at right now. It's never too late to start being active. If you fell off the wagon and you haven't been active, that's okay. You can always jump back on that wagon. It's just finding what works for you and what motivates you to get active. So I didn't put this statistic on the slide, but even another statistic that I feel like is kind of alarming to share is that in South Dakota, 33% of South Dakotans report engaging in 0 minutes of aerobic activity. So that means over the course of the week, they report doing no form of walking, running, biking, or something that gets their heartbeat up a little bit through that cardio each week. So my hope is that maybe, of course, maybe we can change that in the years to come and decrease that percentage. So at least people are engaging in some form of physical activity. But as I mentioned, any activity counts. And this next slide here really highlights in the new guidelines, that's one of the big takeaways for everybody, is that any form, any time, any amount of time of physical activity you can dedicate, it counts towards meeting those recommendations I shared previously. So just something to remember. This graphic here is really just showing that any form of physical activity, you can see immediate benefits. And I already kind of talked about those immediate feelings of reduction in anxiety, immediate reduction in blood pressure, and it can also help improve your insulin sensitivity. So just another slide to kind of take that point home a little further. Next slide. So what can you do as an individual? What can you do to start being active, to start setting some goals? So it's really important that you personalize benefits to yourself. Think about why you want to be physically active, why you want to improve your health, why it's something you really want to spend time doing, and take that to heart as something that will motivate you. If it's, I always talk to my mom about wanting to be able to play and keep up with my kids and her grandkids, long into life. And that's one of the things that really benefit, or, as a motivator for her to be physically active. For me, it's just, it makes me feel better. Sometimes it's a huge stress relief. So those are things that I find deep benefit in for being physically active. So finding out what truly kind of personalizes those benefits for you is important. It's also important to set realistic and personal goals for physical activity. Don't base your goals on what your coworker's doing, what your neighbor's doing, what your husband's doing, what a friend's doing. You have to set those goals kind of individualized to what you want to accomplish and base them on like where you're at right now and where you're starting. So make those goals personable. And then, of course, it's important to have the knowledge and skills to help attain those goals. So making sure you're aware of resources, ways to be active, different programs that might be available, things you enjoy to do so that you can, and you're successful in achieving those goals. So just some reminders, as we wrap up our session and our workout today, of things to keep you moving and keep you going. Okay, next slide. So without further ado, we're gonna move. Everyone's gonna move. So just some safety things right away. Of course, most of you may be at your desk, you might be at home. Regardless, just kind of do a quick scan around your area, that there's no coffee cups you could knock over. There's nothing on your floor you would trip over or slip on, just to make sure you're kind of set up in a safe place. Amber's going to quit sharing. If you do want to switch, if you know how to do this in Zoom, switch it to speaker view. It'll just make me a little bigger so you can see me demonstrating the exercises a little better. You can totally do that. So I may be kind of rolling back and forth just to adjust my screen a little bit so you can see my feet. But if you're ready, if you kind of did that safety scan, making sure you're in a safe area, we are just going to start in our chairs. You can do this standing if you'd like as well. I'm going to play a little background music too, just so I don't constantly fill it with my voice. It'll be a little quiet. So before we get into our Thanksgiving type workout, we'll just do a real quick warm up. And to do this, I'm going to have you start with a seated march. So it's just like it sounds. We're going to lift our knees up and down like you're marching in place in your chair. Kind of feel that heart rate, your breathing rate starting to pick up a little bit. Good job. These marches can be as quick or as slow as you need. So if they need to be small little movements, you can keep the feet down. If you need to bring them up, that's all right. Okay, from the seated march, we're gonna go right into conducting an orchestra. So it's just like it sounds. We're gonna bring our shoulders up, our elbows up shoulder level. And we'll just pull our fingers like we're conducting an orchestra, getting our arms warmed up. Again, you can do this as quickly or as slow as you'd like. Again, you should start to feel your heart rate picking up. Maybe pick up the pace a little bit. Good job. Slowly lower the hands back down. Hopefully you can see my heels and toes here. I think I can see my feet in the screen. We're gonna just take it, we're gonna do some heel taps. So out in front, we'll tap our heels to the ground, moving our feet. Then from your heels, we're gonna transition to our toes. So same thing, tapping our toe out in front. Good job. Keeping the same motion, we're just gonna transition to the side with our heels. So my chair isn't the best because it's a swivel chair. Hopefully you guys have chairs that maybe don't swivel. If you can lock them, you can do that. Just tapping our heels out to the side. This is our last warm-up pose, then we'll go right into our Thanksgiving themed exercises. Okay, let's do one more each side. All right. If you'd like to stand with me and try these, you can. If there's any exercise you're not comfortable doing or trying, you can definitely just watch me demonstrate them and join us for the next exercise. So the first thing we're gonna do is called a turkey lunge. So we're gonna take our left leg, step it behind us. Hopefully my pants don't blend too much into my cabinet back here. Both toes are gonna point forward. We're not gonna go down into a full lunge. We're gonna do more of a lunge pulse. But envisioning like you're a straight line, we're gonna slowly sink down, come back up into our turkey lunge pulse. Shooting for 5, right here, good job. Here's 5 for me, step the feet together, shake it out. Right foot's gonna step behind us, same thing, toes pointing forward. Hands can come to heart center, or you can always hold on to a desk or a chair if you have something by you to hold on to. Same thing, we're gonna lunge down. Just a small kind of mini lunge. Shooting for 5. Good job. All right, that's 5. Shake out those legs a little. The next one's called a sweet potato push-up. So if you have a desk by you or a wall space, I'm gonna demonstrate on my desk. We're gonna do an inclined wall or desk push-up. I'm gonna put this up a little, because I'm tall. But once you're to your space, go ahead, put those hands on the wall or on your desk. Then we're just gonna walk our feet back a little bit so you're kind of at an incline in the angle. We don't want our bottom out. We want a nice straight line. Once you're there, just like you're doing a push-up on the ground, we're gonna push down towards the desk or the wall. Slowly straighten those elbows, coming back up. Try to gaze out forward. Good job. Again, we're shooting for 5. There's 3. Good job. Keep going. Push-ups are hard. And 5. Shake out those arms a little if you need. After our sweet potato push-ups, next we have our Brussel sprout squats. It's kind of a mouthful. Same thing if you have a chair or a desk that you want to hold on to and keep by you. We're going to do more of a mini squat. You can also, if you have a chair that doesn't roll, if you want to do a squat where you sit all the way down into your chair and come back up, you can do that as well. I'm going to demonstrate the mini squat. So again, holding onto that chair or desk out in front of you, we're going to kind of shift our hips and our bottom out as we sit down into a squat and come back up. So real important, you don't want the knees to go past your toes. You also don't want to hunch your back. You want to pop the bottom out and come back up. Okay, I probably did 5, but we'll say we're at 3 right here. And 4. And 5. Good job. Shake out those legs a little if you need. So next we have our devil egg dips. So if you have a desk space, you can do this at, or a table, just something nice and sturdy. We're gonna take our palms, fingers are gonna point towards our back, rest them onto your desk. Step those feet out just a little bit away from the desk or table. And then we're slowly gonna bend our knees, bend our elbows, coming down. You should really feel this in your triceps, and we're gonna push ourselves back up for our first devil egg dip. All right, so we'll say this is our first one. There's 1. And 2. Good job. Slow and controlled. 3. 4. And 5. Good job. Shake out those arms a little if you need. My arms might get cut off in the frame a little bit, but I think you'll be able to follow what I'm doing here. We're gonna do butternut squash shoulders. So we're gonna work our shoulders a little bit. So you could do this standing or seated. Well, I think my hands will hit my table. I was gonna sit, but I'm gonna say standing. Let's bring our hands up shoulder level. Fingertips can point out towards the sides. Then we're just gonna do a nice slow circle with our hands, circling around. You can do these circles as slow or as fast as you'd like. I hope you guys are trying this one. If you haven't been doing any of the standing ones, this is one you can do while you're seated. We're gonna bring our hands out in front. Same thing, doing a nice slow circle, pointing forward, working those shoulders. If you sit a lot, you probably get some tight shoulders, tight neck muscles. Back out to our sides, a few more circles, then we'll give those arms a little bit of a break. Nice big exhale, relax our hands, shake it out a little bit. So this next one's it's called a feather flapper, but we're gonna do a modified feather flapper. So basically a jumping jack, but we're not gonna do a full jumping jack unless you would like to do one. Wherever you're at, you totally can. I'm gonna demonstrate the modified jumping jack. So it's really just doing half of your body at a time. So with the modified feather flapper, it's kind of a tongue twister. We're gonna take our right hand, right foot, come out, and then the left side. So just doing right to right and left to left in a modified jumping jack. As I've said, this can be as fast or slow as you need. You can do this one seated as well, if you'd like to try that. I think we might have time to do some of these twice. So I won't have to talk as much since you know them. Okay, 2 more each side. 1 and 2, 2. Okay, last one is called the turkey trot. You've probably seen 5Ks called this, but it's really just walking or running in place. So kind of like we started with our marching, seated march. We'll do a walk in place to get a little cardio in. Deep breaths. We're gonna go through a few of them a second time, then we'll do our cool down. Hopefully you guys are ready for your Friday, the day ahead. All right, slowly bring those arms and those legs to a stop. Shake it out if you need, and we'll go right back to our turkey lunges. So if you remember, let's start with our left leg coming back. Gaze forward. Hands can come at heart center, or if you have a chair or something you want to hold on to, we're going to lunge down. Just a tiny little lunge pulse. Good job. That was 4 for me. And 5. Step together, shake it out. Right leg comes back. Toes pointing forward. Lunge down. Good job. 4 and 5. Shake it out a little bit. Sweet potato push-ups. Shooting for 5 again if you can. If not, just staying whatever level you're at. So again, kind of angling ourselves into an incline, either against your desk or a wall. If you have a really low desk, it probably would work a little better to go on the wall. Step your feet back. Gaze towards the wall or the desk, and we're slowly going to lower ourselves down. Push back up. Make sure you don't hold your breath through this movement. There's 2. 3. Woo. 4. And 5. Good job. These push-ups are always hard, no matter how many you do. Okay, Brussel Sprout squats. So same thing, staying by that desk or table, or if you'd like to grab a chair that is that doesn't roll, you can use sitting to standing in that. We'll shoot for 5 squats. Make sure the knees don't pass the toes. And don't let your shoulders fall forward. And hold on to something for a little support. Good job. This one was 5 for me. Shake it out a little bit. Next, we got our devil egg dips. So step those feet forward just a little bit. Fingers point towards your legs or towards your body. Bend at your elbows. We'll lower down. And really use those triceps in your arms to do the work, to push yourself up. Good job. And there's 5. Good job. All right, we have time to do all of these twice. So when you're ready, arms can come up shoulder level. We'll do a slow, controlled circle, working those shoulders a little bit. Maybe this time let's make a bigger circle. Last time we were doing little circles. Good job. Hands come out in front. Let's make some big circles again. Deep breaths. Out to the side. Hands up overhead, exhale down to our sides. Good job. Shake it out. All right, the tongue twister, the modified feather flapper. Can anybody say that 5 times? Because I'm pretty sure I can barely say it once. When you're ready, we're gonna do each side. Modified jumping jack. You can do a full jumping jack if you'd like to. Stepping out to the side. So you can do in your chair as well. All right, 2 more each side. 2. Last thing is our turkey trot. Walking in place. And then we got our cool down. Keep marching. If you noticed your heart rate and your breathing rate maybe picked up a little bit, slowly bring those hands and legs to a stop. If you're not in your chair, you can definitely join me in your chair. I'm going to come back down to a seated position. Oops. Once we're back seated here, we'll just take a few minutes to do a cool down. So let's start with doing some shoulder rolls, bringing our shoulders up, back, and around. Again, if you sit a lot throughout the day, this probably feels real good. Carry a lot of tension in our neck and our shoulders and upper back. Switch directions. Good job. Bring those shoulders to a stop. We're going to take our chin, angle it towards our right shoulder. And we'll stretch that neck a little bit. So you can take your left hand, let it hang down at your side. And you should feel a nice stretch along your neck there. Exhale, come back forward, then chin towards our left shoulder, right hand hangs like you're holding a heavy suitcase. Bring your gaze back forward. Chin's gonna point up to the sky, bite the teeth together. Make sure you don't hold your breath. We're stretching kind of the front of our necks. It's important to breathe here. It's real easy to hold our breath. Slowly bring that chin, tucking it towards our chest. This will stretch the back of our necks. You can place the tongue on the roof of your mouth. Get a little deeper stretch here. Again, don't hold your breath. Bring your gaze back forward. Roll out the shoulders a little bit if you need. Take a few breaths if you need. And of course, since we're kind of in that Thanksgiving mindset, maybe we're not there yet, but you might be starting to think about things you're thankful for. So if you have, since you still have a little time, or before you maybe jump into your next thing, maybe just take a moment, write down some things you're super thankful for today, maybe something that happened this week or something you have planned in the future. Hang it up somewhere that just kind of reminds you here throughout the month of November, to just remind you that even when life gets crazy busy and there's always something that you can be thankful for. And it might be kind of that reminder for you throughout the month or throughout the next few months as we get busy. So I am gonna mute. I haven't looked at the chat at all, but maybe I'll look quick to see if there's any questions, or Amber she maybe has my back.
Yes, thank you so much, Nikki. If you do have questions, we've got a few minutes here, so please feel free to type those in. Was such a good workout. I'm thinking about making everyone in my family do this before we actually sit down and eat Thanksgiving dinner. We'll feel less guilt when we're eating.
And there is, you maybe put this in the chat box already, but there is a link to our extension website where most of the exercises, there's a few that are a little different, are on our website. So you can do it on Thanksgiving before or after with some guided, if you need a refresher on what exercises were.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We hope to see you next week. Our topic next week is really fun as well. So it's some interesting, fun ways to get more veggies into your diet throughout the day. So please join us next week. And if there's no questions, I'll check the chat one more time. Looks like everybody just really appreciated the time this morning to do a little bit of exercise, stretching, and again, I hope you use this before Thanksgiving or on Thanksgiving nonetheless. So thank you so much, everyone, and I hope you enjoy your Friday.